Hello sayo student, ako si Sir Bryan. At nandito ka sa aking channel na The Millennial Teacher. Nandito ako para tulungan ka sa math subject mo. Nagtuturo ako ng mga topics mula grade 7 hanggang grade 10. Pero bago natin umpisahan ang klase, ay iniimbitahan kitang mag-subscribe sa aking channel at pindutin ang notification bell para lagi kang updated sa mga bagong upload ko, na tiyak na makakatulong sa'yo. Simulan na natin ang klase. Ang topic na ituturo ko sa iyo ay tungkol sa zero at negative exponents. Ito ay para sa mga grade 9 students. Umpisahan natin sa zero exponent. For any real number a, except 0, a raised to 0 is equal to 1. Sa madaling sabi student, lahat ng base na naka-raise sa 0 ay laging equal sa 1. Bukod lamang kapag ang base mo ay 0. Gawin natin sa mga sumusunod na halimbawa. X raised to 0, 1,000, raised to 0, and negative 5, raised to 0. Dahil lahat ng ito ay naka-raised sa 0, at hindi din 0 ang base nila, ibig sabihin ay lahat ng ito ay equal sa 1. Another example ay negative times quantity 5 raised to 0. In this case, ay naka-parenthesis ang 5 raised to 0. Kaya, ito ang uunahin natin. At ito ay magiging 1. Then multiply natin ang 1 sa negative sign na nasa labas. Kaya, ang final answer student ay negative 1. At ayan, ang law of zero exponent student. Next student ay negative exponent. For a is not equal to 0. And n is any real number. A raised to negative n is equal to 1 over a raised to n, or a raised to n is equal to 1 over a raised to negative n. Sa madaling sabi student, kapag may negative exponent tayo sa numerator, ay mapupunta ito sa denominator. At kapag may negative exponent tayo sa denominator, ay mapupunta ito sa numerator. Gawin natin sa mga sumusunod na halimbawa. Example number 1 ay 3 raised to negative 2 times negative cube. By applying the power of a power rule, just copy the base, which is 3. Then, multiply natin ang exponent na nasa loob sa exponent na nasa labas. Kaya magiging negative 2 times negative 3. Next student ay copy the base, which is 3. Then simplify the exponent, kaya magiging negative 2 times negative 3 is equal to positive 6. Then simplify natin ang 3 raised to 6. Kaya, ang final answer, student ay 729. Example number 2 ay 2 raised to negative 2 times cube. By applying the power of a power rule, just copy the base, which is 2. Then, multiply natin ang exponent na nasa loob sa exponent na nasa labas. Kaya magiging negative 2 times 3. Next student ay copy the base, which is 2. Then simplify the exponent, kaya magiging negative 2 times 3 is equal to negative 6. In this case student, ang exponent natin ay negative. Kaya, kailangan natin i-apply ang reciprocal. Kaya magiging 1 over 2 raised to 6. Next student ay just copy the 1 and simplify the denominator. And 2 raised to 6 is equal to 64. Kaya ang final answer student ay 1 over 64. Example number 3 ay 3 over 2 raised to negative 4th power. By applying the power of fraction rule, ay magiging 3 raised to negative 4 over 2 raised to negative 4. Next student ay i-apply natin ang law of negative exponent. In this case ay mapupunta sa numerator ang denominator. Kaya magiging 2 raised to 4. At mapupunta sa denominator ang numerator. Kaya magiging 3 raised to 4. Next student ay simplify the fraction. 2 raised to 4 is equal to 16. Over 3 raised to 4 is equal to 81. Kaya, ang final answer, student ay 16 over 81. At ayan, ang law of negative exponent, student. Ngayon student ay i-apply natin pareho ang zero at negative exponent sa mga sumusunod na halimbawa. Example number 1. M raised to negative 2 n cubed over x squared y raised to negative 5. First student, just copy the n cubed. Then, mapupunta ang y raised to negative 5 sa numerator, kaya magiging y raised to 5. Over, mapupunta ang m raised to negative 2 sa denominator, kaya magiging m squared. And, just copy the x squared. Kaya, ang final answer, student ay n cubed, y raised to 5, over, m squared, x squared. Example number 2. 2 raised to negative 2, x squared, y cubed, over, 4, raised to negative 1, x raised to 0, y raised to negative 2. Una nating gagawin student ay ipunta sa numerator ang 4 raised to negative 1, kaya magiging 4. Then copy the x squared and y cubed, at dahil may y raised to negative 2 sa denominator ay mapupunta ito sa numerator, kaya magiging y squared. Next student ay may 2 raised to negative 2 sa numerator, kaya mapupunta ito sa denominator, at magiging 2 squared. At lastly, may x raised to 0 sa denominator, at ito ay magiging 1 by applying the 0 exponent. Next student ay just copy the 4x squared, and by applying the multiplication rule just add the exponent of y, kaya magiging y raised to 3 plus 2. Next student ay simplify natin ang denominator. 2 squared is equal to 4, and 4 times 1 is equal to 4. Next student ay dahil may 4 sa numerator at sa denominator, ay pareho itong maka-cancel. Kaya ang final answer, student ay x squared, y raised to 3, plus 2, is equal to 5. Example number 3, quantity 5 squared, a raised to negative 1, b raised to negative 3, over 10, b raised to 0, c raised to negative 4, raised to negative 1. Ang una nating gagawin, student ay i-apply ang power of fraction rule. Kaya magiging quantity 5 squared, a raised to negative 1, b raised to negative 3, raised to negative 1, over quantity 10, b raised to 0, c raised to negative 4, raised to negative 1. Next student ay i-apply natin ang power of product rule sa numerator. Kaya magiging 5 raised to 2 times negative 1, a raised to negative 1 times negative 1, b raised to negative 3 times negative 1. Next naman, student ay i-apply natin ang power of product rule sa denominator. Kaya magiging 10 raised to 1 times negative 1, b raised to 0 times 1, c raised to negative 4 times negative 1. Next student ay simplify natin ang mga exponent. Just copy the 5 and simplify the exponent of 5. Kaya magiging 2 times negative 1 is equal to negative 2. Next student ay just copy the a and multiply the exponent of a. Kaya magiging negative 1 times negative 1 is equal to positive 1. Since positive 1 ang exponent ay hindi na natin ito kailangan pang ilagay. Next student ay copy the b and multiply the exponent of b. Kaya magiging negative 3 times negative 1 is equal to positive 3. Next student ay ang denominator. Just copy the 10 and multiply the exponent of 10. Kaya magiging 1 times negative 1 is equal to negative 1. Next student ay copy the b and multiply the exponent of b. Kaya magiging 0 times 1 is equal to 0. At huli ay kopyahin ang c and multiply the exponent of c. Kaya magiging negative 4 times negative 1 is equal to positive 4. Bago natin ipagpatuloy student ay isulat muna natin kung saan tayo natapos. 5 raised to negative 2 a b cubed over 10 raised to negative 1 b raised to 0 c raised to 4. After simplifying the exponent student ay i-apply natin ang law of negative exponent. Ang 10 raised to negative 1 sa denominator ay mapupunta sa numerator at magiging 10 at kopyahin lamang natin ang ab cube. Next student ay ang 5 raised to negative 2 na nasa numerator ay mapupunta sa denominator. Kaya magiging 5 squared. At ang b raised to 0, by applying the law of 0 exponent, ay magiging 1. At kopyahin lamang ang c raised to 4. Next student ay kopyahin lamang natin ang expression na nasa numerator. Then, simplify natin ang denominator. 5 squared is equal to 25 times 1 ay 25 pa din. And copy the c raised to 4. Ang 10 at 25 ay both divisible by 5. Ibig sabihin, student ay pwede pa natin itong lowest term. Kaya magiging 10 divided by 5 is equal to 2. At 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. And then, copy the ab cubed sa numerator, at copy the c raised to 4 sa denominator. Kaya, ang final answer, student ay 2ab cubed over 5c raised to 4. Hopefully, may natutunan ka sa video na ito student. At huwag mo na din kalimutan mag-subscribe and share mo na din ito sa kapwa mo mag-aaral na kailangan matutunan ang topic na ito. Muli, ako si Sir Bryan, ang iyong Millennial Teacher. And see you to my next class.